Let me bang.
I do let you bang. Hey,
let me bang you, James, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy?
What's up, people? Welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. It's going to be a great show today. We got the boys. The Dream Team is back. We also have Colby Covington joining us.
I feel like Don is only joining us because Colby's here today.
No, because yesterday he was like, "Are we doing this or not?" And I'm like, "Bro, I don't see you for 3 weeks. I hit you up every week, and then
again, I think he's only doing it because Colby's on. Like we're holding hat. We're not, Colby. Yeah, he'll talk to. He's ready for Colby.
No, but yesterday, like when I rescheduled it, he was like, "Where are you?" I'm like, but he didn't show up for the 2 weeks before that, so I didn't even tell him we were rescheduling. Like, I'm like, oh, Don, like it was one of those things where, dude, I mean, Don Fry is just, I'm on some kind of Don Fry meme list where every day is like every Friday is Friday, and it's always about
awesome.
How he could fuck, Chuck Norris in the ass and all this stuff. Like, are these funny memes about him? So, McCorkle, how are you?
Doing all right, man. If my face looks extra shiny, it's because when I went to the barber the other day, I apparently misunderstood him. He said, "You want me to shave it?" I thought he meant like the sides. And I was like, sure. And before I know it, I've got like a hot towel over my face. And then like he shaved me with a straight razor all the way down. And like I haven't shaved my face like that in years. So like when it was done, I looked like a baby-faced 45-year-old. So
were you on Xanax or no?
No, not this time. No, that was I asked that guy, it was funny, the same barber, he goes, "Man, what was wrong with you last time?" And I said, "I told you, didn't I?" He goes, "You didn't say much of anything." And I said, "I thought I told you that." He said, "No, you said something about you got an MRI, but I didn't know what that had to do with anything." And I said, "No," and I explained it to him that, and I did go get my MRI, not to take over the show here, went to get my MRI. The supposed open-ended one, it's not open. I don't know what it has maybe an extra 3 inches on each side. And I was like, okay, this was supposed to be like open. That's why I scheduled. That's why I drove 2.5 hours to get here, Well, their famous last words, "Let's just try and see." I'm like, okay, well, I'm telling you right now, this isn't going to work. So she puts me in there, shows me, oh, so my head will be out just to my chest. Okay, cool. I can do that as long as I feel, not claustrophobic. So as she starts doing it, it starts going, it starts touching my lips, and it starts touching my nose. Then it's pushing against my head as I'm sliding into this machine. And I tell the lady, like, "Hey, this isn't going to work. Like, I don't think I can do, like, you told me I would have a bunch of room, or whatever." And she goes, "Well, we have room on the sides." And I'm like, okay, well, if I can't turn my head, what good is, like sitting there with this thing next to me? So I go for 20 minutes. I finally hit the button. I said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry. Number one, this speaker's like the loudest shit I've ever heard in my life." They had headphones on and one side was blasted, the other side was dead, which makes it even harder. And then I said, how much longer we have?" She goes, "Oh, well, we're just getting started. You got 45 minutes of this angle and then 45 minutes on another one."
Oh, my God.
They thought I was going to do a 2-hour MRI machine with the thing literally touching my nose and face. That's how close the thing was to me. And you're like encapsulated too. So it's like, it's not like you even can move around or look around or anything. You can't even move, so.
And this is to look at your back? Is this to look at your back?
Yeah, and that's what I can't figure out. I'm like, what? Like, and it was awesome. We get in 10 minutes. She goes, "Okay, just a little bit further, like 6 millimeters." And I was like, "Well, 6 millimeters, that's nothing." About 7 inches later, I'm like, "Ma'am, that's a little more than 6 millimeters." And I just kept getting deeper and deeper into the machine. Anyway, boring topic, but I still don't have my MRI. So now I'm going to have to go. Probably the one that is sitting up. I imagine it being like with Darth Vader. You remember when he was in that capsule thing, and then
I understand. But you went in the machine for 2 hours. You went in the machine for 2 hours. You were in the machine.
No, I was there
20
for
minutes.
Probably at 25 to 30 minutes in. I asked her. I said, "Do you know how much longer?" Because normally she told me it was 25 minutes, and then she goes, "No, that's just the initial one. We have that one, and then there's 45 minutes after that, and then we'll take you out for a few minutes. We'll put you back in. It's another 45 after that." So it's the only 2 hour and 20-minute MRI I've ever heard of. Like, I don't know what's going on. She's like, well, they want contrast. They want without contrast. They want it at different angles. They want this or that. And so anyway, like I said, not very interesting, but it's kind of like listening to you guys talk on here every week.
Nah, man.
Are you under the weather? You sound like you're a little stuffed up.
Yeah, man.
I was sick.
I woke up deathly ill today, so I haven't been vaccinated, so I'm sure it's not the coronavirus, or related somehow. But yeah, no, man, I don't know what I got going on. I got I caught something.
So Greg,
probably in the MRI machine.
Yeah, right.
If Don was here, he'd be like, "It's herpes." I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah. So Greg, dude, my dad used to have the best. My dad, like, I remember, I have hemorrhoids. He's, what you want to do is put your ass underneath the bathtub and just run the hot water with your ass out. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really sure this is, dude. Then
I didn't know you could put your ass out. How does that? How do you take your ass out?
Like put your ass.
1920s fucking cure right there. Just put your ass under a hot faucet and wait to go. Like what?
I'm like, Dad, I remember I got my first STD when I was like 21, and I was like, I go, Dad, it burns when I pee. He's like, that just means your ex is thinking about you. Okay, sure. Dude, then my dad used to swallow his own tooth because I have the fake tooth, but he had one too, and he would swallow it. He goes, "Oh, that happens. Don't worry. You just got to boil it in water and put it back in." I'm like, after you shit it out. I'm like,
holy shit.
Was your dad raised on a farm in the 1830s? Like, this is some fucking.
I feel like you went to med school with the doctors I've been going to. That's what I feel like. They've got a new bad idea every week, man.
So, Greg, I saw on your Facebook you had a Walker Texas. What is the story you wanted to tell?
Oh, yeah. So in the 90s, the first big network show I did was Walker Texas Ranger. And I played a campus drug dealer who gets shot by the bigger drug dealers. And it's in the opening scene of the show, the big teaser. And then the rest of the episode is Chuck tracking down the bigger drug dealers.
Podcast.
Yeah, can you believe it? And so I do the thing, and when they come in and shoot us, so there's me, and then there's like this, the girl that plays our partner in crime. I don't know if she's supposed to be. So it's 2 dudes and 1 chick, and we're like the little college drug ring is essentially what it is. So they come in, they shoot all of us. Which they shoot me first. I go down, my hair is flying everywhere. I fall down, and I would fall down with my hands up like this, like I'd just be laying there like this. And then the girl will get shot, and when she gets shot,
did your wig fall off or what?
No, no. Luckily, he was all attached by the follicle at that point. Yeah. So I'm laying there, and the girl, when she gets shot, she would whirl around and fall face down. But what would happen is she would fall with her tit right in my hand.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and it happened the first time. And, of course, the rest of the scene has to play out, and the guys are, like, talking, and I'm just laying there with this girl's tit in my hand. And I'm just like, Greg, be a pro, man. Be cool, bro. Fucking pretend this shit ain't happening. And, and then they're like, cut. And she gets up and like, whoo, okay, got through it. And they're like, all right, let's do it again. And I'm like, I'm going to do it again. We do it again, fall down, boom, tit in hand again. And I'm like, this is a fucking bullshit, man. She's putting a tit in my hand, And I'm just, and all I'm thinking to myself is, Greg, don't squeeze.
Yeah.
Just don't do fucking anything. And then they're like, finally, they're like, cut. I'm like, great, it's over with, right? Okay, great. Now they want to do a version with blood packs where they show us actually with the blood exploding out of our chests and stuff like that. Bam, 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 blood everywhere. I fall down. She does it again. Tit in hand again. And now I'm like, okay, this bitch wants it. I mean, come on. This is not an accident. 3 times, tit in hand. You want me. But again, I was like, I'm not getting kicked off of my first fucking network set. So I did not squeeze. I spent the entire time I think we even have, it may have happened like a 4th time where her tit just kept laying. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop it. And then afterwards, of course, I was trying to flirt with her and there was nothing there. No interest whatsoever. And I was like, thank God I didn't fucking squeeze that titty. It was probably the hardest first day on a shoot ever.
It sounds like a really gritty episode of Walker Texas Ranger. If I'm going to be honest with you. Like there's shootings, titties in hands, like blood exploding. It just seems Seems like they were going a different direction with the episode that time.
When I was
Listen, when they were putting all the blood packs on me, I was like, "This is great." It was also my grandfather's favorite show. I'm like, "This is going to be great." My grandfather, this was his favorite show. He goes, "Well, to be honest, the network's not real cool with us shooting teens, so the blood probably isn't going to make it into the show." And sure enough, it didn't.
When I was on night calls, remember night calls on the Playboy channel?
Yeah.
The hottest porn stars. I was the warm-up comedian, right? It's the only job I've ever showed up early for, my entire life. Yeah. It was like the show was two naked girls, Jessie Jane, who was at the time the hottest girl I've ever seen, and Kirsten Price, and there'd be like 15 girls scissoring behind you, and the topics were all like why it's okay to cheat on your wife, like it was all like written by like a man, like hey, how to get a blowjob and get away with it or whatever, blah, blah. So they had comedians on, right? And they're like, so I go on, they're like, are you ready for a really stiff cock? Give it up for the comedian Adam Hunter, right? So I go on and do, it's like 5 minutes. And then at the end, literally I'm doing comedy and there's naked girls everywhere, scissoring and fisting and squirting. And I'm doing stand-up comedy. And at the end, Jessie Jane comes up to me and she's like, "You were so funny." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And then she's like, "Do you have a big dick?" And I'm like, "This is on the air." I'm like, "Oh, it's a." She drops to her knees. And like, I had such a crush on her, but I'm like, I can't put my dick on television. Like this was, if I ever wanted to get, but the other part of me is like, dude, how could I not?
They're like, "Adam, you just went too far on Playboy TV. We can't hire you." You just took it a step too far.
And that's how Kamikaze Comedy was born.
Dude, somebody once used, this guy Skippy used that tape for like his submissions to comedy clubs. So these interns at the Laugh Factory were like looking through like basically CDs or VHSs, and all of a sudden they show a guy going out there with like 15 naked girls. Anyway, so I just got back from Minnesota and there was a guy. Don, I think I can see is Don sleeping?
No, not yet.
Bring the newspaper.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Don Frank.
So I'm on stage and this guy with his cute girlfriend just won't stop heckling. First, he just won't stop with the jokes, like, and they didn't kick him out, right? So first, finally, I do a joke about, and he got to me one time. I go, "Yeah, I got a COVID test off Wish. It said I was pregnant." And the guy goes, "Do you look it?" Right? And I was like, "Oh." They had me do radio, right? So I get up at 5:30 flight to get to Minnesota, show that night. I'm tired. I fly Spirit Airlines, middle seat, just the whole works, right? Do the show. They're like, "Hey, they want to do a radio show on Friday morning. This guy is a big radio guy in Minnesota. I know him. You have to Uber there." So I go, now I'm on 3 hours of sleep. I go to the station. I go to like the third floor. He zooms in, the host. Fucking radio host. Like I'm down at the station with this girl co-host, and he's like
the whole stat. I've been on that radio show, and all of them are. I was sitting there. The same thing happened to me. I'm sitting. First of all, it was snowing like crazy. We were late because we had to fight through like a foot and a half of snow to get there. We get there, and they're like, "Where were you? You're late." I'm like, "Where are you?" And they're like, "Oh, we don't come in, and they don't come in the winter because they're used to the bad weather. So they all like video conference in, and we're the only saps there in the fucking studio."
Dude, it was crazy. It was nuts. It was crazy.
I can't understand why you would have to be in studio if everyone else is Zooming.
It makes zero sense.
I called him out on it. He's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'd be better, but I look forward to seeing you, but you're not here. I'm not going to hear him." And he didn't even Zoom. He called. So I couldn't even see him. So now I'm like, "But I can hear you breathing." I'm like, "Why am I here?" Like thinking he would laugh, and it was this uncomfortable silence. So obviously that was something that, so that was crazy. And then couples therapy. My wife had a couples therapy, which is, we're getting better in it, but
the marriage isn't getting better. They're getting better at couples therapy. Just to be clear,
dude,
they're getting better. They're getting better at networking and fucking working the fucking therapists. That's what's happening.
Dude, it's hard for me not to use it.
She finishes your jokes for you and she tells the punchline.
Yeah, right. Dude, I did it the other day. I like complained. I'm like, "My wife, blah 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 blah. Can you fix her behavior?" Like like I'm taking her to like a dog trainer. The girl started laughing. I'm like, I can't fix her behavior.
And the therapist was like, if I could hear you better, I'm on Zoom right now and you're cutting in and out. And Adam's like, what kind of therapist is this?
Were you ever in couples therapy, Don?
Oh man, I went to therapy 100 times to 101 doctors. Like I really did. Like it was actually the other way around. We would go, they would meet with us at the end. They would be, okay, you are 100% right, pointing to me. You are 100% wrong, pointing to my ex. And be like, I don't really know what I can do to help you if she's not willing to change. So we would leave there and he'd be like, oh, it's just because he's a man. He sees your side. And I was like, or he's an educated therapist and he sees exactly what I've been saying for the past 15 years,
Sean, I love you, my guy, but I've known you long enough I just don't believe a therapist is going to say, you're 100% right.
Okay, 97%, maybe.
Okay, come on.
Come on. They would basically say that she was completely, keep in mind, this is a woman who was spending us broke. So I took her name off all the bank accounts, all the credit card accounts, everything. And she found a way to get someone to let her in my safety deposit box that only had my name on it and stole $200,000 cash out of it. Wow. Told them I was dead and she needed something for my funeral. It's also a woman who got someone to take a piece of paper as a check, just wrote my account and routing number on it and signed the name, paid to the order of it, and paid for something with a check from my checking account like that. Like this is during the late 90s, so you could apparently get away with stuff like that. But yeah, she was completely out of control. But we actually finally, every time it was, he disagrees with you because he's a man. He disagrees with you because he knows your family. He disagrees with you because, so I finally said, I want to go to a woman and I want to go to like the most liberal woman in the world, like somebody who, you know what I mean, like feminist, whatever, somebody that'll be completely against me and get her opinion. So we talked to the lady for 20 minutes, as God is my witness. We talked to her for 20 minutes. She said, listen, there's really no need for us to continue this. She said, my ex-wife's name, I don't need to see you again, Sean. I just need to see you tomorrow for about 10 minutes. And I thought, great, I'm going to get straightened out. You know what I mean? I'm going to get told I'm the worst. And she's going to be able to prove her point. It's just because it's men. I come back the next day or whatever it is, the next appointment. And she goes, I sat here and listened to you guys for 30 minutes yesterday. I just have one question for you. And I was like, what's that? And she said, what the hell are you doing married to this woman? I started cracking up. I said, I didn't expect you to say that. She goes, you would have to be insane to put up with that behavior. That I can't even believe anyone would tolerate that.
Sounds like a
and
porno.
She's like, at the time, I was young. I was making a bunch of money. She goes, you're young. You're good looking. Like you have a successful business. Like what? Why in the world would you tolerate this? And then she said, I told her, I said, I love my kids. I just don't want to put them through a divorce. She goes, well, you're getting divorced either way. You just don't know it yet. And
whoa.
I said, I was like, well, what do you mean? She goes, if she's not cheating on you, she will cheat on you. She said, she is the kind of person who's extremely unhappy and she's going to keep going until she finds something that she thinks will make her happy. She said, she actually was, I don't know. I don't want to get into my whole thing, but she basically said, let me tell you about your past. I'm guessing, but this is without me telling her this. You guys probably got along better when you were broke, right? Yeah. It's because she thought money would make her happy. You probably got along better before you had a baby, right? Yeah, because she thought having a baby would make her happy. You guys got along better before you bought a house, right? And I'm like, yeah. And then you buy her a real nice house. She's still not happy, So it's like, she said she's run out of things to make her unhappy. So guess whose turn it is to be replaced now?
Wow.
And I still don't know. I'm like, I don't know. She goes, you should marry
the therapist.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Of course, she was 75 years old, but it was funny. She's a 75-year-old Christian woman, real big on like religious, like therapy, like through like, the stuff. And the first thing she says to me that day is, what the hell are you doing still married to this woman? It like caught me off guard. Like you should expect that old lady to be cussing in a therapy session. But she said, I've seen some crazy ones in my lifetime doing this. She goes, I've never seen one quite like that. Like talking about my ex. So I was like, yeah. So then I said, yeah, I probably am 100% right.
Wow.
But, wow. Boy, that was really riveting podcast.
Dude, this was an actual, my wife and I actually got in this argument the other night, right? And by the way, I love my wife and the marriage getting better. And we're happy. But I have a friend named Aldo, right? I'm like, dude, Aldo's kind of crazy. He's like an ex Chippendale. He's a wrestling coach. He might have been a leg breaker. He's one of my best. He's one of those guys that like you.
He's a jack of all breaks. Like, yeah.
One of those guys that you keep around. So I told him, I go, thinking about Aldo, you know, if I ever had like to get rid of a dead body, he'd be the first one I call. Right? I tell my wife this, and she's like, "Why are you gonna have a dead body?" I don't have a dead. I'm just saying if I had a dead body. Oh, so if you killed me, you'd call Aldo? No, I'm not killing you. I'm just saying if I had let's just say someone was gonna hurt our kid and I killed the person, but I knew who's gonna hurt our kid. I'm like, forget it. You know what? This was an actual it's fucking crazy. It's fucking
you should have just told her how pretty she looks, and that probably would have left it. Dude, would have left it at that. That's what I would have done.
The other day, yesterday, my daughter, which of course, you know, manipulates me to letting her stay home, come home. I don't want to go to school. I want to start spring break, right? She's 4, right? So, of course,
she's got to recharge.
Yeah. So I let her stay home. She farts and goes, "Excuse you, butt." I was like,
yes, she does have a point.
All right, so let's talk about some fights. Did you guys watch the fights over the weekend?
Yes, sir.
First of all, obviously, Corey Sandhagen won. He won, I think, all 5 rounds, maybe 4-1. How does
on one judge's card? Yeah, one judge had him all 5 rounds. The other one had him, I think, 4-1. Yeah,
one judge gave it to Vera.
Yeah. I know. I was like, what? But dude, this just goes to show you cannot leave it up to the judges. How did he score it for me? I have no, because Sandhagen, maybe Vera did win 1 round. Actually, I gave him 1 round. I thought there was 1 round. I think it was the 3rd or 4th that I felt, okay, Vera won that round. But every other round I thought was decisively Sandhagen. And the fact that one judge gave it to Vera, I was like, Jesus Christ, and he's a professional fucking judge.
And the day before, he was the ref. Do you see that clip going around showing where the ref basically almost let the guy die? Like the guy was the guy tapped, the guy was out in 9 different submissions, out cold for 7 minutes, and it went viral of this is the worst referee of all time. Take away his license. And he's the guy they let judge, who gave it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God! You know that's the thing, and it's nice to see that fighters go through the same shit that we go through. Because seriously, if you've ever been in a comedy contest, you've seen the not funniest person win first place. It happens every fight. I know, because I'm usually the funniest person getting third. Yeah. So it's just, we get it all the time. You're like, what the fuck are they looking at? What are they looking for? What the fuck happened? The judging wound up the way that it was. And it's funny. Even in fighting, something you think is fucking decisive, one guy's beating another man's brains out, and then the judge is like, I don't know, I kind of like the other way he really took those punches.
It was crazy.
He really got beat up really good. I gave that round to fucking Vera. Like, fuck you.
Did you watch it,
Oh
Sean?
my God.
Sean, you watched it?
I did not. No, I was just sitting there thinking the whole time, Greg was talking about how does the worst guy get first or whatever, and I was trying to come up with a Brendan Schaub joke. So that's all I've been working on for the past 45 seconds, and I got nothing. So I really am under the weather right now. He's like, I see it happen all the time. I was like, yeah, so do I. Every time Brendan Schaub performs.
Dude, then Holly Holm, right? Who looks great. Holly Holm looks great.
Fantastic.
She won 3 rounds to nothing. The other girl was sort of she out wrestled the girl, which was even crazier. But then after she wins, her speech was I just want to say, right now, there's a lot of kids out there being sexualized, and we need to stop the sexualization of our children. Which is a great, but a little odd. After an MMA fight, right. I mean, I'm for this, and it's a terrible thing, but it was just a little odd. It just seemed a little out there that was on her mind. That she called out the people who are. So of course I wrote Pat Barry, you have 24 hours to respond. But it was this fucking. It was great. Greg? Did you see that after what she went?
Oh, I saw it, and I'm a Holly Holm fan.
Yeah.
And listen, I was just glad to see that she was dominating. She seemed so much bigger than Santos. I was like, she must have really cut weight very effectively because she went in there so much bigger than Santos, had a massive strength advantage, and clearly has finally worked on her wrestling, added her ground game, which we had all said was the one dimension keeping her from really being an elite fighter. And now I just hope that she has the gas and determination to keep going now that I feel like she's really kind of put the whole game together.
But she's 42, and I think that
exactly, that's the other thing. She's pretty up there in the age range. I'm like, she finally put it all together, but I don't know how many more fights she has in her.
Well, unfortunately, I feel like she beats the number 3, 4, 5. I just don't think she beats the top 2. But
and she already has once before. Anything, especially in the women's fight, although women's has gotten much more consistent, but I feel like she's catching up to that game in terms of adding her ground game. I hope she's got one more run in the title ladder because I've always been a big fan.
Now, Sandhagen called out Merab after the fight, which is a crazy because I feel like that's the guy you don't want to fight. The guy who just beat Peter Yan. The guy who goes 100 miles an hour the whole time, doesn't stop. Maybe he could land one of those crazy flying knees and hurt Merab, but I don't know, man.
Sandhagen at 135?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking 145 for some reason.
The way that Sandhagen took advantage of Vera's coming at him, moving forward all the time, I think would play to his. I think he's counting on that to be his advantage with Merab as well, because Merab goes forward. He's a fucking Terminator, and I think Sandhagen's counting on him to do that and to use his countering ability against him. I actually could see where in his mind, I don't know if factually it's a great matchup, but I can see where in his mind he sees that as a natural advantage.
I do, but also Vera, is a very slow starter, and Merab is not. So then you got that, and then you also have the fact that this guy goes for 5,000. I don't think Sandhagen's going to take down Merab. Merab is a great wrestler and just has that going forward, and so I don't know. It's a good fight. Now I think it's the going forward thing. I think he's counting on him to go forward, and that's what he wants. He's like, yes, come at me. I'll counter you all day and then give you that flying knee when you shoot. I think he's absolutely counting on him to play right into that strategy. Whether or not it's successful versus a Terminator like Merab, I have no idea. So, and then, hold on, let me see if I can get that. So then also, what happened in these fights? Nate the Train won. Nate's been looking much better. I'm happy for that guy. He's a fucking class act.
He looked fantastic in that fight. I was very excited. I mean, it was not an easy fight. Austin Lingo, he put up it was a good fight. But Landwehr seemed, he looked tough as nails. He looked in control. He was a great fight for him. I was really happy to see him get that win.
And then, hold on, let me see. By the way, so I'm going to try to find this. What's his name calling out, because I for some reason I feel like I'm not doing a lot of these stories justice. So the Holly Holm, here we go. Let me see. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
You really want to force this discussion, huh? You really want us to spend time on this?
I want to get Sean's opinion. Oh yeah. So this is the ref, by the way. That this is the terrible ref.
What?
Hold on, watch.
Here we go. Figure four. This is as deep as they get. What?
Shotgun arm or something, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, the guy's clearly out. You can see he's out right there. His eyes are closed.
Oh, man. He's breathing like he's out. He's breathing like he's asleep.
Dude.
He's out. He's out. He's out. I think he's asleep. He's out. No. Yeah, he's out. Wow. He's out. Frank, he's out.
Dude. Yeah, really, man. That makes
and the ref still isn't doing anything. And he's letting him get put in an arm bar. Now he wakes up into an arm bar, and his arm's broken now. Jesus Christ. And the ref still hasn't stopped the fucking fight.
Oh, my gosh. What is happening? Frank Colazzo.
So that was the ref that they let judge.
Dude. Who is that guy? That's horrible. I went into it thinking it'd be funny. That's hard to watch, man.
That's the guy they let judge. Which is crazy. Why would
Holly Holm should have given a speech about protecting fighters from him.
Right, dude. I can't believe Greg beat me to that punchline. Damn it. But
sorry, buddy.
I was working on that. And you got me. You beat me to it.
So yeah, Yeah, and then by the way, so that happened, and then there was a guy that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Did you watch the CJ Vergara fight?
I think so.
So Sean, this guy gets rocked and then starts like running away, literally running away. And
yeah. I did watch this one. Yeah.
And then he comes back and wins. Like everyone was making fun of him, like, oh, this guy shouldn't be fighting, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe he's running away. And then in the second round, he ends up winning the fight, which was
that's right.
Probably the best strategy I've ever seen.
I was gonna say it's a hell of a strategy. Apparently works too. So
now Don, have you ever run away during a fight? Hello, Don.
Don, or what?
This podcast.
What?
Have you ever been rocked in a fight and then like ran away or?
Yeah,
Don?
no, I never ran away. No, I'm a dumbass. I stand there and get punched.
Don, you?
No, man, my cardio was so bad I wouldn't have the gas tank to run away. Like I'd have been like there's times, man, I've been in fights. I really have fought before where I was so tired, I'd rather just get hit in the face than raise my hands up. And I was like, I'd start to try to put my hands up. I'd just rather eat a couple of them, man, than do that. So no, I wouldn't have the cardio for that. I bring it up all the time, but the time that Don let that guy break his arm was amazing. That Don willingly would not tap and let a guy snap his arm in half and then still complain to the ref that he stopped it. So.
Yeah, no, that comeback was surprising. Lacerda took him out a few times there in the first round, and then Vergara just came back in the second. And it just shows, hey, listen, I mean, he did what he had to do to survive the first round. So, and that was the thing. Lacerda gassed himself out trying to put him away in the first, and then he just had nothing left in the tank and left himself open for it in the second. It was an unusual fight to watch. It was good.
Watch this, guys.
That's amazing.
But then he does turn and fight him. I mean, he got away from him for a second.
The guy won. Which is, I mean, like, right?
Well, did he win by decision from the guy that was just repping? Like, is that the
no? The other guy, he got the other guy down and was beating him so much the guy turtled up and he was just pounding him on the head, and the guy just basically gave up, and the ref had to fucking call it. I mean, he wasn't defending himself, and the whole crowd, including me, were all just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Man.
It was wild, but he just, I guess, gassed out trying to put him away in that first round. So,
what fighter was it? Who was it that kept running? It was a UFC fight. It was a big fight too. He kept running away from. It wasn't Caleb Starnes. God, who was it? I can't remember. He kept getting swung at and just kept running.
Starnes. It was Caleb. You're right. It was.
Was that? And then, and then what's his name started running?
Nate Quarry.
Yeah, Nate Quarry started, sarcastically running toward him. Yeah, dude, that was awesome, man. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was one of the funniest shit
ever. Caleb, he started doing that, and Caleb had his hands up, still bobbing and weaving, like he wasn't sure how to defend that either. Like when he put his hand around his face like that, he's like, I've never seen this before. Like he wasn't sure how to counter that either.
So we got to talk about some really important stuff here on the MMA Roasted Podcast. I hate to, make it a somber moment, but Hasbulla. Hasbulla? Hasbulla is this little person, right, who's like 22 years old that all the fighters seem to love. He's from Dagestan or something, or he's from Russia, and they all pick him up and like cradle him, or they like let him beat him up, and it's like he's in the video game.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I've always thought it was kind of weird because I'm like, this guy's like 20 and they're like, it's just, everyone seems to think it's really funny, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded, but I never really thought it was that funny to begin with. I'm just like, so anyway, people love him though. They love Hasbulla. He's with, Khabib. He's with this.
Yeah. He's like their mascot basically.
But Conor McGregor says, I want to punt him like a football. Like him and McGregor don't like each other for some reason, right? I think he was talking to McGregor. Well,
because he's like Khabib, isn't he? I mean, he's part of Khabib's team, right?
Kind of. But a video came out. Man. A video came out last night that he put out on his Instagram live of him beating up his cat. So I'm going to show you this video.
Oh boy.
Because now people are very upset about this. Well, okay, hold on. Listen to him. That's this guy. He has it by the ear. Cat's running. People are pissed about this. I don't mean to laugh. I'm laughing at Sean's face about this.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I don't. At first, I thought the cat was making that noise. At first, I swear.
You know what's horrible is that cat is going to be paid $1 million to fight Jake Paul.
First of all, why are you hitting your cat? Number one, that terrible hitting your cat. Why are you posting it? Like this guy, what is going on? Don, thoughts about Hasbulla hitting his cat?
I couldn't see it, but if the guy's hitting a cat, he's a dickhead.
Yeah.
He needs to be slapped upside the head.
Yeah, right.
Fuck him. Piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, here's one. Cat's probably his only real friend.
Like, I don't know. The whole thing is weird. Even then, there was a video of him and Mike Tyson, and Tyson was biting his ears and like tickling him. I like it was just a strange. Sean, your thoughts?
Dude, I don't know. Like I said, I actually thought the cat was making that noise at first when the video started. So like I thought somebody put a voiceover for the cat. Like, I don't know. So he just posted a video. My understanding is he posted a video of him smacking his cat around, and then and that's it. There's no follow-up. There's no anything.
No.
That's just the end of the story.
Yeah, that's
well, it's I don't know. Maybe he put some Sarah McLachlan music over it or whatever, and we can do something with it. I don't know, man. Like,
he's a dickhead. The kid won the lottery. I mean, he's fucking. They gave him in the UFC video game. Like the people are loving him. He's a celebrity.
Wait, he's in the UFC video game as a fighter?
Yeah, as like the secret fighter is him. That's what I heard. Like, I think
they only fight cats.
But yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, I can't wait till this is a pay-per-view, because that's where we're at. You know, it's like, it's time for the rematch. Is this cat who's gonna be the bigger pussy? Hasbulla versus the cat, only on pay-per-view, live from Prime Sports. Like, come on.
One of our fans, please make a meme like with the weigh-in official weight, like one of those like tail of the tapes, like the cat's like 7 pounds.
My money's on the cat. I hope the cat whoops his ass.
The Andrea Lee fight. I thought Andrea Lee got robbed. I don't know. The Macy Barber always seems to win these close decisions. I don't know what's going on. I thought it was a clear victory for Andrea Lee. Very strange.
Andrea Lee agrees with you.
Yeah.
She looked very surprised by the decision.
This week, on the UFC Fight Pass, it's Game Bred Boxing, which is Masvidal's boxing league. It's Roy Jones Jr., who's 54 years old, is fighting Anthony Pettis in a boxing match. Not really.
It's going to be broadcast live from Sleeping Springs Retirement Center in Coral Gables, Florida.
I still think Roy Jones wins this boxing match, even at 54 years old. I think Roy Jones beats Anthony Pettis. Because Pettis, he's a smaller guy.
I was going to say, are they even near the same weight?
No, or age. Even with a 20-year advantage, I still give it to Pettis. I mean, I give it to Roy Jones. Sean?
Yeah, well, when you saw, I'm sure you guys watched Tyson versus Roy Jones, which, it's hard to tell, obviously, when they're in their 50s, but Roy Jones did pretty well against Tyson, and Tyson looked pretty good not for anybody, but especially for a 54-year-old. So I think Roy, I thought it was his last fight. I told you I got to walk him out for his last fight, even though I just had a backstage pass, but I snuck my way in to be one of his last cornermen, walking out. To be on the pay-per-view that nobody bought, but there's some other interesting fights on that card too, man. They got who else? They got a couple of their UFC guys.
They got Jeremy Stevens versus Jose Aldo, which I mean that I actually like that fight because there's two guys that are close to the same age, and I think Aldo wins that. I think he's got more boxing experience.
Why? Okay, so if you're going to be having an MMA fighter versus an MMA fighter, why are they just boxing? Is it something that it's like?
I was actually wondering that myself. I wonder if it's not maybe it's one of the things where you have to do either MMA or boxing, like as an event, you know.
Well, you could do kickboxing, you know, at least do kickboxing then. If you don't want to waste your, you know, if you don't want to do the ground game anymore, okay, I get that. You want to stay on your feet? Well, make it kickboxing then. You're both trained kickboxers. Why are you reducing it? I mean, you have 2 MMA fighters. Why are you reducing it down to just boxing? That doesn't make any sense.
Did I ever tell you that time I hung out with Mike Tyson's like business manager, and he was telling me that like before that fight against Roy Jones, Tyson was like on all kinds of stuff. Like, I mean, you could look at him, you could tell he wasn't.
You're kidding.
You could tell he wasn't natural, right? But I guess they heard that there was a belt up for the line, but it was the Black Lives Matter belt. Like, I guess they had a belt for that fight. So he had to get like drug tested. So Tyson was like went off everything like the week before and was flipping out. Like, 'cause he was went from all to nothing. So the guy told me that he got a phone call saying that Tyson was taking ayahuasca with like 30 like shaman monks. And he had to go pick up Tyson from the Malibu Canyon. So he drove up to Malibu and he sees like 30 monks running for their lives. And then a shirtless Mike Tyson just walking towards them. And he had to like calm Mike down and like tell him like, hey man, he was having a bad trip and he wanted to fight the monks.
Right.
Well, it just goes to show you, it's like that old joke goes, 30 monks walk into a bar with Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Oh God. Like crouching.
What the hell? What made it? First of all, why would you need 30 of them? I guess 30, they thought, don't worry, we got 30 guys. We'll be able to control the champ. Like, no, you can't, dude.
I would just love to be in the car pulling up and seeing 30 monks running down the canyon, followed by Mike Tyson. I mean, that like if you saw that like in a movie,
dude. I was gonna say you can see it. It's currently in theaters. It's called Cocaine Bear.
That's
pretty much
ayahuasca. Is ayahuasca actually considered a performance enhancing drug? I don't know. I don't know if that's against the rules.
I don't think so.
I don't know. So then Pearl Gonzalez is who, by the way, if you follow her on TikTok or Facebook, she's just like, I don't know what happened. I think she broke up with her boyfriend and she's like, I'm getting revenge on this. But like her tits are fucking huge, nipples everywhere, or at least 2 of them. And you could just see almost everything. This girl is very, very proud of her body. And I'm not complaining. But
what's her name?
Pearl Gonzalez. She's fighting. She used to be a gang member. She was a gang member back in the day, but found MMA and got out of gangs. And she was. I'm trying to figure out if Cortez. I'm trying to figure out if Cortez is still with what's his name, Brian. No, they broke up. I thought so because she went from like he was in all of her social media to where he's gone, and it's just her now. And I was like, oh, is this an over thing, or is it just her trying to like maximize her social media now by leaving him out of it? So she's fighting Gina Danger. Gina, a good friend of mine. So and then Jacare is fighting Vitor Belfort in boxing, which you know that he's not being tested. And Vitor Belfort on performance enhancing drugs is I think the scariest fighter of all time. I mean, he basically kicked Bisping's eye out of his head.
The question is, have we ever seen Vitor not on performance enhancing drugs? I don't know.
We have seen it, and it was at the very end of his career. So
and he was getting killed. Like he went from remember when he was like, he was doing video game moves on people. Like he was doing like fucking those against Luke Rockhold and he was knocking.
PCP is a hell of a drug, man. Shit.
Oh my God! Did you ever meet Belfort, Don?
No, never did. Never did.
That's amazing to me.
I like the way you fight.
Who's the scariest fighter you think on steroids that you've ever seen?
Mike Tyson.
Huh?
What about Mark Kerr back early Mark Kerr?
No, fuck no. Mike Tyson was the scariest fucking fighter on the field. Huh?
Well, what about in MMA though?
MMA? Coleman. Fuck, it'd be Coleman.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Coleman is so scary that he's got these daughters who I think are in their like 20s, and they're always posting like pictures with they're good looking girls. But this is how crazy Coleman is. Every single comment is like, oh, hope all is well. Like there's not one comment that's like perverted or anyone being disrespectful. That's how scary Mark Coleman is. Like that people are even anyone that says like you look hot is a girl. Like every guy is like, I'm not fucking even like. That's how scary Mark Coleman is.
You know, he's I don't know if you guys know, he's actually he's doing the Liver King thing, like whatever that program is. But he's lost like
steroids.
Yeah. I don't think he's doing that part of it, but he's lost 35, 40 pounds over something like 6 weeks. He's looking like he's sober now. I guess he's been sober for 2 years, man. And he's really changed his body just like in 6 weeks. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, but he was trying to get a fight, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like he was hitting the bag, and then he posted a picture of him after sparring, and his like nose is over here, and he's like, oh, my first day of sparring. I'm like, I don't know if I want to see Coleman box right now, unless he boxes Tank Abbott or somebody else that's like, around.
Sure. Tank Abbott's in a coma right now. That's what Adam wants to see. Like Tank Abbott just had triple bypass surgery. He's like, that's who I want to see.
I don't want to see anyone make a name off Mark Coleman. Like, oh, I beat Mark Coleman. Yeah, but he was 65 years old. After I don't want to see that. And then Joe Riggs. Oh, and then this girl who also was fighting was actually the Crazian. She goes by the Crazy Asian. She's like this hot girl from Vietnam. So smoking hot. She's boxing B Win. How do you say if it's NGYN? You know how something like how do you pronounce that? Win, right?
Win. Yeah, that's generally pronounced Win. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was in Survivor? She was like on Survivor Asia or something. Also like a super hottie. So those two are boxing. The Crazian versus the Killer B. She goes by, and then Joe Riggs is boxing that guy that used to dress up as a clown. You know that fighter that had clown costume.
You don't
the Killer Clown.
I was gonna say you just keep it. You just go ahead and fight in it. It's cool.
No, his name is Marcus Perez. He weighs in as a clown. Hold on, let me see if I hold on. Hold on, Marcus Perez. Hold on, as like the Joker. He weighs in as like the Joker. Marcus Perez, Joker. Yeah, this is how he. I'm not kidding. Hold on, you guys are acting as if this is really happening. So yeah, hold on. So let me see if I can share this. Yeah, this is the guy that Joe Riggs is fighting. Joe Diesel Riggs. He says he's making 3 times more money doing this than he did back in the UFC. So hold on. So did you guys see him?
Oh yeah.
So here's a guy.
Next to the stage in the middleweight division, Dricus du Plessis against Marcus Perez.
So he has a mask on for here.
Yeah.
See,
nice.
So he's the Joker. He actually did. He did pillow fights recently. You know how they had pillow fighting, the pillow fighting champion. Did you guys see that?
I remember when I promoted the pillow fights.
I believe we covered it on this podcast because it is such an important part of mixed martial arts world. So yes, I remember the pillow fighting. Yeah,
he did the pillow fights. What's up, people? I gotta talk to you about HelloFresh. First of all, what is HelloFresh? With HelloFresh, you get fresh farmed, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You gotta skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. #1, all right? You can make mealtime easy with delicious recipes made with fresh, wholesome ingredients delivered to your door. No lines, no hassle, no gas, all that other stuff that you have to get there. No, just great tasting meals you can whip up and enjoy in the comfort of home. Sounds good to me. HelloFresh has 40 weekly recipes to choose from for all meal occasions, lifestyles, and preferences, okay? Take your pick from meals like soy glazed salmon with rice or mushroom and chive risotto. That sounds delicious. I'm in. Now, me and my wife, we've been doing home cooked HelloFresh, and it has been delicious. Delicious, okay? It saves us time. It saves us money. We're in. So just go to HelloFresh.com/roasted60. Use the code roasted60 for 60% off plus free shipping. Okay. HelloFresh.com/roasted60. All right. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Go check it out. All right. Also on this card,
Wait a minute. He did the pillow fight. He clearly takes fighting very seriously. He went from pillow fighting to just putting on clown makeup for the weigh-ins. Okay, all right. This one, Jake Paul's going to be calling any minute now.
PFL, by the way, speaking of Jake Paul, this week Bubba Jenkins is fighting.
Yay!
It's a rematch against Chris Wade, and Wade beat him the first time. Beat him pretty bad, actually. I think Bubba was, Bubba's one of those guys that has to learn the hard way. I love Bubba, but he has to he doesn't believe anyone could beat him until they beat him, and then he'll beat the guy again. He'll beat the guy. He'll come back and win. He's one of those guys that, don't touch the stove. He'll touch the stove. So I think now he's going to take Chris Wade pretty serious. And he's fighting.
How could you not?
Well, Wade's good. Wade's a good fighter.
Oh wait, I thought you were still talking about the guy dressed like the Joker.
Oh no, that's Marcus Perez.
Okay.
We're
all right, I got confused. Sorry.
Yeah, we're off the. Also, Marlon Moraes, who's he's fighting the champ, the guy who beat Bubba. How do you say the last name? Laughlane or something?
Yeah.
The guy that beat Bubba. Yeah. He's fighting. And Moraes has been knocked out his last 4 to 5 fights. So Brendan Laughlin. And then Bellator, Kat Zingano is fighting. Love Kat Zingano this weekend. And Joey Davis, who was I think a 4-time Division III or Division II national champion, never lost a match in college, has never lost a round. He's 10-0. He's never lost a round in professional fighting. So of course Bellator has him on the undercard. Now someone DM'd me and told me the guy's got some issues and stuff. So I don't know. I can't confirm nor deny, but I don't know, man. This might be one of the biggest what ifs, or what are they doing? Why is this guy not promoted? It's crazy. It's crazy.
And who's this for? What fight?
Bellator.
Oh, no wonder I haven't heard of it. So they're thinking why have I not heard about this fight happening? I was because it's Bellator. That's why.
Yeah. Bellator doesn't.
Bellator and their mystery fights.
Paul Acosta agrees to a 4-fight UFC deal, and he wants Sean Strickland next, which might be that'd be a fun fight to watch.
I'd watch that. Yeah.
That would be a really.
These PFL fights actually look pretty good. I like their matchups. They put on a good fight. I like PFL. I like them better than Bellator, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the guys are. It makes more sense, It's because it's a tournament, so
yeah.
At least you'll still be, you'll see the end versus a guy like Joey Davis, you just won't see him again for.
Right. Exactly.
So
no, this is good. I like. And so this is this Saturday in Vegas, huh? Is that what it's saying?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's the old Hard Rock, right? Which they call
it. It is. Yeah, it is. It's the old Hard Rock, and the room they're in, it used to be called the Joint.
Oh, now it's called the Virgin.
Yeah, now it's the Virgin Hotel, and it's their arena or whatever.
Did you guys, by the way, see the thing I posted about Joe Biden when they cut to him and he was talking about ice cream?
Yeah, he was doing crowd work.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
I didn't. That's why I'm like, did somebody create this and insert that video with it, or is this really what happened with them going to him? Was it supposed to be about because I find it about the Nashville shooting, and he's like, look at these beautiful kids in the back and all that. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
I didn't actually. I think Adam sent it to me. I thought it was a joke, and then I verified it. It apparently really happened. It apparently was actually what happened. That's odd, man. That whole thing was odd.
Yeah.
That was the craziest thing. It's hey, let's cut to Joe Biden. And he's like, hey, I like chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, it's I came down here because they told me there was going to be ice cream. And it's oh, God, Joe, stop talking. Just stop
and
it.
Kids. Little kids, yeah.
And then he's it's supposed to be about the Nashville thing. And he's like, look at these beautiful kids in the back. Stand up, guys. Stand up. Say hello to the crowd. I'm like, what? Is he doing crowd work? Does he know what he's there to talk about? I don't think he did. He obviously did. He clearly forgot between, on the elevator ride down what the fuck this thing was supposed to be about. So
Colby's going to be 10 minutes late, by the way. If you guys want to obviously stay for that, I'd love to have you guys on for that. But if you guys have to leave, I get it. And then also, did you guys see the Henry Cejudo Aljamain? So Henry, sometimes I'm not saying that I help him with his tweets, but maybe, I don't. So he hit.
I'm not saying I help him with his tweets. I mean, they're pretty funny.
So right. So, but if I retweet him,
help him out with the spelling.
If I retweet him, there's a good chance. So he goes, hey, or he may have said, what do you got for this? For Aljamain, right? He was like, Aljamain was like, hey, I'm looking to grapple. Me and Mara are looking to find guys to grapple tonight. So then Henry puts out, there's got to be an easier way for you guys to get some dick, right? But he put the emoji, right? Which is, I thought it was funny, right? And then Aljamain comes back and says, May 4th, you're going to get blacked. Which I guess is a porno where black guys bang white girls. It
is. Oh, it is.
So then,
did they get the BLM belt afterward? Is that how that's so?
So then the comments, if you want to laugh, the comments on yo, Aljamain, there's still time to delete this, or what the fuck, or they have Yoel Romero going, you don't need to say that, man. They have these clips of people that they took for 5 seconds of them, or right. What the oh my god. People
and that's the thing, when I saw that, I'm like, did he mean like blacked out? He's gonna get put out, or does he realize he's referring to a porn channel?
Totally realizes that he's just being funny, because Aljamain's funny as hell. But people were like, this is the most unserious, hey, Dana White, tell them to stop promoting this fight. People were like, I've never seen such a worse shit talk. I'm gonna fuck you. Dude, I was crying laughing, and my wife's like, what are you laughing about? And then I'm like, oh well, Henry, and then she's like, I'm going to bed.
It would have been nice if they would have just gone back and forth. You're gonna get blacked. He's like, oh yeah, well, wait till I get you into my backroom casting couch. Oh, yeah, well, you're going to see when I put you in Tuk Tuk Patrol. Oh, you don't know nothing because I'm a fake agent, just back and forth with terrible fucking porno channels. Don't ask me how I know all those, by the way.
All right, I was going to say, Greg seems to be very well versed in the whole.
It's like a Key and Peele sketch. The two, it just keeps getting gayer.
Yeah.
Oh, I was laughing so hard. Did you guys see that weigh-in in Russia where the girls are going to fight each other and they start making out?
I'm going to need you to show us the clip.
Missed that.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. All of a sudden, Don Fry's Wi-Fi works.
Let me just adjust my pants real quick, and then you go ahead and bring it up. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I missed that one. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find this.
It's like that part of Team America where he's like, this is the only way to prove your loyalty. Okay, no one's looking around. All right, go ahead. Suck my dick.
Don, what do you usually tell people, and Sean, you too, when you guys weigh in against each other? When you guys face off, what do you got? Because you can never tell what they're actually saying. What did you say to the person, Don?
We never faced off. Shit, I don't think we really had any face-offs. I can't remember. But I wouldn't say anything, because you don't want to start a fight, before you got paid, so shit. I wouldn't say anything until we got in the ring. And then I talk shit.
What about you,
a lot
Sean?
of people, you would think, I'm done.
No.
No.
Go on, Don. Go on.
I mean, you don't trust that somebody will take a punch at you, so that they get disqualified, or kicked out. So then you won't have the fight and all that training. What the hell,
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So can you guys see this?
Yep.
All right. So this is in Russia.
Oh shit. Oh my.
Like,
I think they forgot. I think they forgot to tell them that they don't have gay people in Russia.
Wait, is it tag team MMA? What is going on there?
No, that's Iran.
Like, yeah, like, oh, yeah, right. You're right. There's two. Right. I didn't even notice that there's two girls behind them. You're absolutely right. They start making out, and then the other one starts making like. Yeah, these two.
I gotta tell you, this is the pay-per-view I've been waiting for. I am willing to pay to view that. That looks like it's going all the places I like. Jeez, they were hot. All of them were hot, and I love the way like the two girls, they look like twins on either side. You know, like I'll tell you what, I'll find that before I find Bellator.
Could you imagine if it was like two guys though that started making out like in Borat, whatever? Like, remember that?
Bruce Buffer can.
I was gonna say, here we go. There you go, Sean. The ball's on the tee. Go ahead, whack it.
I guarantee he can imagine it and has. But no, you just say, earlier, Adam, you were asking what I say. I used to like to say weird things to guys, like, so we'd be up there, and I told a dude one time, I'm a lot better looking in person, up close, or something like that, just to see if I can make them laugh, like whoever it was. I was, because they're trying to intimidate you. So
right, they're trying to be all serious and shit. I could see you saying just the weirdest fucking shit.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure they knew that I didn't take it serious at all. Like, you didn't expect me to be this good looking up close, did you? Like, just something to completely throw them off. So
you're lucky we're not fighting until tomorrow, because I just ate a lot of broccoli.
Yeah.
Greg, there was a fight, or afterwards, Sean's being interviewed, and he talks about smothering his grandma and killing her. Like, the guy's like, so, like,
who did he think this reporter was? A doctor trying to verify him for surgery?
Like, right? Didn't that happen?
Yeah, the guy. I was in Miami. And I had taken like 3 Percocet. My back was absolutely.
I was going to say no more. Say no more.
Yeah. So I'd taken 3 Percocet because I was at a fight. I didn't want to be uncomfortable the whole time there, like sitting, in odd positions, trying to relieve the pressure. So Tim Sylvia started buying people shots. And I was like, no, I don't think you should mix Percocet with shots. And then turned out I was wrong. It was an awesome mix. Yeah, like 10 shots in, Spanish TV wants to interview me. And I kept saying, I don't know. They kept asking. I kept saying, this is only for Spanish TV, right? Like, it's only going to be wherever they play Spanish TV. And he was like, yeah. And I said, okay, cool. So I go ahead and do the most horrific interview of all time. And I had been making jokes that week. I went on a date with a girl, and I didn't like her. She didn't like me. We could tell right off the bat we didn't like each other. So I was brought up cancer, because that's what I do when things aren't going well on a date. And my grandma had recently died from it. And I had told her that I wanted to get rid of this chick. So I said that that I gave her morphine, like I was giving her more than I was supposed to, to try to ease her suffering. And then when my parents were out of the room, I just gave her the rest of it. None of this happened. I just said this on the date. And then I said that she started struggling. I panicked and smothered her with a pillow, And then and I said that, but the last 30 seconds she was alive was the most lively I'd seen her in years, as I was smothering her, like just stuff like that. I don't know. So I ended up telling that story on the interview, thinking no one's going to see it, or whatever. And then it got I got posted on my Facebook page, and then my tagged on my Twitter. Before I know it, the next morning I got like 42 text messages from my agent, because I was out in Miami. I was up till 4 a.m. So by like 8 a.m., I look at my phone. I'm like, dude, he's texted me 42 times. And he was just like, you do realize what you did last night, right? Like, and it was right after I had said that Pujanowski, like I was starting to wonder if he was taking steroids or not, when I was getting ready to fight him. I was like, something about that guy tells me he might be on steroids, like I was just making jokes like that. So they were threatening to cancel the fight. And it was just, I don't know. It was, it was an ugly.
What did your mom say?
If you just Google my name and CFA, it's still on YouTube, thankfully. So
now, what did your mom say when she switches us?
She thought, she knew I was just joking. That's she probably hopes that's how I deal with my grief, and I didn't actually smother her. But no, I had a weird relationship with everyone. No, but with my grandma, like I used to tell my grandma, like as she was dying, she went to my mom's house basically, to be taken care of with hospice and stuff. And I would come in, I'd be like, what are you holding on to? Just die already. Like I would say stuff like that to her.
Oh
which
my
would make her laugh. You
God.
know what I mean? Like she was, I don't know, she had a weird sense of humor, but I've got a video I was going to tag you on my Instagram where I told you we were throwing Easter eggs at her during the Easter egg hunt for my 2-year-old daughter. So it's actually like I'm filming my little girl ready getting eggs. Then you hear my brother say, okay, now, and I film my grandma and an egg goes whizzing by her head, you know, like it was, we have a strange family. But yeah, I've still got that on my Instagram somewhere. But yeah, no, I would just tease her about dying and about what was there left for her. There's nothing left for her to live for. Like, why should she keep holding on, and just things like that to try to make her smile. She usually would laugh. She was a pretty good sport.
So one of the weirdest, by the way, I'm gonna change that. And Sean, you're a fucking national treasure. But there's this. There was the weirdest face off that I've seen in a while. So this one guy, I guess he's like I was watching a TikTok about him. I guess he's a white supremacist who did time in jail, but he has wins over Andrei Arlovsky. I think he knocked him out. I think he has a couple like huge wins in MMA. And he's facing off against another guy, and it just gets super strange. But I think
unfortunately, I gotta go, man. I gotta bounce. I got a thing I gotta go do. But thank you, man. I love you guys.
Love you too.
And we'll see you guys next week. All right. Have a good one.
Take care.
So this is the face off before Colby comes on, hopefully soon.
This all sounds really familiar to me for some reason too, Adam. I don't know what whatever you're talking about. I don't know. It sounds familiar, so I may know I may know who you're talking about. I don't know why.
This guy, can you guys see him?
Not yet.
No, I was thinking.
Hold on. So this guy, like, I guess he did time in Russian prison. He's like a psychopath, but he hits really hard.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh God. Does he have like red hair?
Yes.
Well, head shade now. Dosick or something is his name.
Yeah, this guy right here. So this was the weigh-in. This is the face-off.
What is going on? The promoters look embarrassed to be there. Like they look like they're embarrassed that they're even part of what's going on.
The white guy won. The guy he knocked him out pretty clean. But yeah, that was a little bizarre, no?
Yeah, he's got a whole highlight video. I think his name is DATSIK something Dotzik, and he's got a whole highlight film of him doing insane stuff, like just completely out of control like that. And fights, warm ups, like whatever, and stare downs, like all kinds of stuff.
I mean, what you think? Russia's just like it's just crazy over there. It's just like do they like this selling this stuff?
No, you've been there right now. I haven't been there. But...
Yeah, fucking Russia's crazy. I mean, it's a hard life, man. It's a hard life and hard people. You know,
yeah.
So they're trying to forget how miserable they are.
But it seems like these MMA scene in Russia.
We got it so easy in this country.
Yeah.
We have it so easy in this fucking country. We have no idea, about what rough life is really like. Shit. Even the homeless people have it easy in this country. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's also one of the reasons why some of these guys I was telling somebody, I was like, I know they would never do it, but like, wouldn't it be great if like when Jake Paul, like he signed in the PFL, they put him up against like an unknown Dagestani guy with like 4 followers that no one knows who he is. And the guy just goes out and just murks like no one knows who he is. His name is like, Magomed, Khabib Magomed or something. just fucking, 16-0, but all his fights are over there and he just kills them. Like, wouldn't that just something be very poetic about that?
Right.
Of course, I would never, ever do that. I don't know who they're going to have him do. He has been training with Bo Nickel, though. There's the thing, like, there's a video of him wrestling with Bo Nickel, Jake Paul. So, like, but it's almost like they're doing an experiment. If you put a guy who's a good athlete, which he is, I don't know what to say he's gifted, but a very good athlete, and you give him the best training partners in the world with the best supplements and dietitians and this and that, can he become the really good? Can he become top 5 or top 10? And that's the experiment I think they're trying to play with him. I don't know. I don't think so. I think he got a late start, and I don't think he's as. And plus, he's doing a lot of other shit. Like you see him doing all these podcasts and this and that and this business and that person. Like this dude from, not this guy, but some of these Dagestani, that's all they're doing. Like they're just literally waking up and they're eating clean and they're living clean and they're just focusing and they're just doing sambo and this and that. So by the time they get over here, it's like they don't have any of these distractions. But I would like to, who do you think they're going to put him against, Sean?
I don't know, man. I know a lot of them, it's funny. A lot of them guys you're talking about, those Dagestani guys, they start training like we start in kindergarten, learning the Pledge of Allegiance and stuff. They start learning double legs, at that age. Like it really is like a whole lifestyle, like it's a whole different thing. But Don's right about it being, man, I've been all over the world and I've seen some stuff. It's I was talking to my buddy the other day about the difference when you go in Tijuana versus San Diego. If you go a little bit into Tijuana, not during the touristy area, but you go a little bit further down, just how crazy everything is, man, and how it's hard to believe that 2 miles across the border you have a completely different life, as opposed to people starving, on the other end. Like it's just it's craziness, man, just crazy world we live in. For sure.
Mexico is our Africa, no?
Dude, nothing. I've been to, when I was in Djibouti, Africa, I went twice, and to do comedy, and the guys in the NCIS guys were like, "Hey, we want to take you for a little trip." So I get in the car with them, and we drive around giving like water bottles to kids. And I say what, like little mini water bottle, like not even like the 12 ounces, like the 4-ounce water bottle. And you would think we gave these kids gold or millions of dollars. And then they took me to this. People were buried, this like graveyard. But they didn't have money for graveyards. They just bury people like, I don't know, 3 feet under. And you can still see the bones. It was beyond, it was the worst. It was, and it made me really appreciative of being here and having my life and being in America. Speaking of a guy who appreciates things, Colby Covington, you're here with me. It's Sean McCorkle and Don Fry. Colby, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. God bless America, Adam. Like you're saying, land of the free, home of the brave. So, we're lucky we get to live the American dream, that everybody strives for when, they become a young American citizen in this country. So God bless America. God bless the troops, the people that keep us free, first responders, the ones out there, protecting our communities, keeping the violence off the streets. So, it's a beautiful day.
Colby, by the way, congrats. So is it locked in? Because Dana says you're getting the title shot. You're in the next fight, but Leon's still saying he's not going to fight you. Like what's going on?
Yeah, Adam, it's okay if Leon doesn't want to fight me. He'll just have to vacate the belt, and then he can go fight Street Judas Masvidal on the prelims because he wants to fight Masvidal so bad. The guy that I gave a 50-44 and a soda to, he can go fight him on the prelims. Just drop your belt, no big deal. So it doesn't matter. This summer, I am fighting for the undisputed welterweight world title, and I can't wait to be the world champion through all my hard work and perseverance of a blue-collar American.
Now, I watched your reaction to the first fight. When he knocked out Usman, and you were like, you think you were as surprised as everybody else. Were you surprised the second fight, how that went?
No, I wasn't surprised. I thought that Marty might be slowing down a little bit. He might be 1 foot out, 1 foot in. He's already talking retirement. He's made his money. He just doesn't have that same hunger. So I saw a guy that's a shell of his former self in Marty. That's not the same guy I fought and beat Madison Square Garden. So, I seen a shell of his former self. I didn't see anything special from Leon, that's for sure. If he was so great, he'd come out here and start selling this fight because this is the biggest fight he's going to get. So, no, I mean, honestly, it was more the judges than anything. You know how UK judges can be for the hometown UK fighter. You're never going to get a decision in UK.
Now, your second fight, I thought was actually a draw. I thought you lost the first 2 rounds and you won 3, 4, 5. How did you have yourself winning the second fight?
Yeah, the second fight with Marty, every single fan in the building was like, hey, I thought you won 4 rounds to 1. At worst, it was 3-2. I definitely won rounds 3, 4, and 5. I think I won the first round too, just off of bigger damage with the strikes. So, I definitely beat him just because the judges didn't give me, the split decision. I lost by 1 round. Dude, the people is the people you're trying to convince. You're not trying to convince the judges. So now the people, as you see by the numbers that I'm the biggest draw in this division, that the people know who the real undisputed champion is. That's Colby Covington, America's champ, Donald Trump's favorite fighter, the king of Miami. He's coming back this summer to a pay-per-view near you.
Now, I can't wait. Now, in England, you got a big pop. Like they were cheering you. Were you surprised? I think they were cheering you louder in England than they were in Vegas. Like, because I was in Vegas, and when they put you on the screen, there were a lot of boos. But then in England, they all loved you. Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that I was, in enemy territory fighting a countryman that, one of their countrymen that I'm going to be fighting my next fight. And all the people, gave me a round of applause, gave me a standing ovation. It was incredible, Adam. If you could have felt the electricity and atmosphere the whole entire time, Colby, during the main event fight when they're having a welterweight title fight, Colby, and just encouraging me, that's why I'm the people's champ. It was amazing to be with amongst the people, in the UK, because I didn't like being in UK. The food sucks. The weather sucks. There wasn't any hot women. So, nothing I could get in Miami. So it was beautiful. Just the people were amazing. It was a great night.
Don Fry.
Colby did his best to lose the fans he got while he was over there just now. But I did think it was funny, man, hilarious that Leon said Colby hasn't earned it, the title shot. And I thought, well, let me look at the ratings. I started looking. I was like, well, he's number 2. He'll be number 1 now that Usman lost. Leon doesn't want to fight Colby. Like that's not going to be a very good fight. Definitely not for Leon. You know what I mean? He's not going to get. I think Colby, not just because you're on the show, I think he walks through Leon and finishes him. So obviously he wants to fight anyone but Colby. So if not him, then who? That's who I'm trying to figure out. So.
It's either me or nobody, or vacate the title and I'm next in line, because I've showed my willingness, Sean, to fight either one of them on a moment's notice. They called me Tuesday night to be the backup fighter. I flew to London. I got there Thursday, had 1 day to cut the weight, made the weight Friday like a true professional, was ready to fight either one of them until the moment the fight went off. I had my mouthpiece and cup in the backstage ready to go. I'm like, Dana, anything happens, Dana, I'm ready to step in. I'm serious about this. Like, everybody knows how focused I am right now and how much I want retribution. So, it doesn't matter. If Leon doesn't want to fight Sean, then he just gets stripped and we go into the next contender down the line. But I am the best, the next contender that he hasn't fought, the biggest draw in the division. I mean, he doesn't call the shots. He's not Hunter Campbell. He's not Dana White. So to think that he can call the shots for the UFC, bro, they're not going to listen to what you're going to say. Think about it, Sean. They sold for $4.5 billion just a couple years ago. You think when they're selling for $4.5 billion, they wouldn't ask the fighter, hey, who do you want to fight? Oh, yeah, what business? What should we do with our business?
Right.
No,
yeah.
They don't care. They do what they're going to do with their business. They don't care about what you want to do. The business was fine before him. The business will be fine after him. So the decisions they make, that he's got no choice. He better be a company man. But Sean, the worst thing about this is he had the opportunity in the spotlight to sell this fight, to get in my face, be like, hey, let's do this. The champion takes on all comers. Let's go. I'll take any man in the world. Show you the best. He blew the opportunity. He's literally freaking pissing on his own money and burning his own money on fire. So it's okay, Sean. I'm fighting next for the world title, whether it's Leon or it's the next person in line.
Don Fry, you ever say you don't want to fight anybody?
No, never did. I always fought who they wanted me to fight, that's funny. Shit. You're a fighter, you fight. That's what you do.
Yeah. Now the whole Masvidal thing, have you guys settled that out of court? Did you drop it? Are you still, what's going on there?
Yeah, Donnie Fry, his generation was real fighters. They'd fight anyone, anytime, anywhere. Multiple fights in one night. So, of course, the legend of Don Fry would fight any man and the next man in the line when he's the best in the world. So, he fears no challenge. So, that's how Leon should be. With Street Judas Masvidal, he's in the hands of the justice system, Adam. This is out of my hands, man. When you assault and sucker punch someone in the street, a civilian, like then the state comes after you, So this is out of my hands. It has nothing to do with me suing him. The state attorney goes after him when you break when you felony commit a assault in the streets, like that's not very smart on him. So, he's in the hands of the justice system. That's out of my hands.
Now he went on a road.
Hey, Adam, you already saw what happens when George gets in my hands. It's 50-44 to soda.
I mean, yeah, right. I mean, you beat him every round. You guys, he had a chance to punch you, and legally, and just I don't know. I didn't like that. Obviously, I just don't. I think you guys are both above that, especially him and you. I remember when you guys were friends, hanging out in my hotel room when you guys were like doing interviews in Vegas, and I liked him there. I liked you. I wish this shit didn't happen because it's like you guys are beneath it. But that being said, what happens? So you leave a restaurant and he just comes at you and just clocks you and runs away.
I wish I could comment on that, Adam. That's in the hands of the legal system. That's up to the state attorneys and the lawyers to work out,
Yeah.
But, it doesn't look good for his side. Allegedly, he's out there, he's the one that went to social media and is claiming what he claimed. So, the guy's an idiot. He's not thinking very smart anymore these days. So, you got to be smart in that. You got to be a professional, man. Conduct yourself like a true professional. You're supposed to be one of the best fighters in the world, and you can't conduct yourself like we have lethal weapons for hands. You just can't go swinging them at anybody in the street because you're upset with someone's words that they said to you. This is the fucking America, land of the free, home of the brave. We have constitutional rights, freedom of speech. Right. So just because, hey, Adam, I didn't like what you just said a couple seconds ago. I can't just come sucker punch you in the streets for it. No. You have your opinion, you have your thoughts, you have your freedom of speech. So, he's got to be smart in that. I would never do something like that. But that's why the UFC has put me in the position I'm in, because they know the professional I am. They know the way I handle my business. I talk a big game, but I back that shit up when I get in the UFC octagon.
It's incredible how you do it. I never saw anyone with the cardio you have. I still don't even know this, like how you do it. As far as now you're at MMA Masters now. He went on Rogan and said that the initial fallout was that you were staying at you were staying at his place because you hooked up with a girl and then she kicked you out or something. And then you were staying at his place and then you didn't pay your trainer or something. Is any of that true? Would you like to comment on that?
Dude, Adam, it's fake news. And all the stuff he says is new. All the stuff he said these days is straight fake news, delusional. The guy's delusional out of his head. He's talking about, he's going to come back and beat me. Bro, you had your chance to do whatever you want to me legally. You got your ass whooped. I've literally sent him to the shadow realm his whole career when we trained. The guy needs to fucking shut the fuck up, move on with his career, know that he's my little bitch, that's my son, and go on with his life, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, so who do you think wins, him or Gilbert Burns?
I could care less. Whoever wins, the good thing about that fight, Adam, is whoever wins will be, 1 or 2 fights away from the title. So they're getting closer to the title picture. But, I'm only focused on the top of the mountain right now. That's me and Leon Edwards, mano y mano, doing it just 1776 style, England versus USA, So I'm going to send him back to England in a pine coffin, Adam. Leon Edwards Scissorhand, because he's always poking people. That's why I call him Edwards Scissorhand. He's poking people. He's a cheater. He's poking people in the eyes, this and that. So, it don't matter, Leon. You can poke me all you want. It's not going to save you when I whoop your ass in Vegas International Fight Week this summer.
It's going to be great. Now, you said you want to be on the card with John Jones. I know you guys, I don't know if you know the history of that, Sean. So him and John were roommates back in the day. They were roommates in Iowa, at Iowa Central, on the wrestling team. It was these two, and there was somebody else who was in the UFC. And they were just trashing things, beating up townies. They were best friends. Now, according to Colby on the show, John started taking steroids back then and getting mad because Colby didn't do the dishes. And he started roid raging around, and then the band broke up. So they're not friends anymore. Colby said some things. John said some things. Are you not worried about the press conference and him attacking you or another? Nothing?
No, Adam, I think it would be straight comedy hour. You want to talk about, entertaining the fans, at the comedy club in LA or doing this thing, giving people pure entertainment, enjoying their lives again. Put me and John Jones up on a stage together. I promise you it will be comedy gold. I'll hold him accountable. I'm going to ask Johnny Boy the tough questions that the MMA media dorks won't ask him.
Like what?
Like, why are you treating your wife that way? And why are you
What's your coke bill
why are you
every
doing these
month?
mean things to women? Why are you putting your hands on a woman? You're a professional fighter.
So you're going to ask John that during the press conference?
Nah, I'll stay away from that, Adam. I know, he's a family man now. He's a changed man. He said that 10 times. I'm just going to ask him some unpredictable things. That's what chaos does. You don't know what I'm going to do next. So I just want to ask him the tough questions that these dork fanboy media, because that's all the media is, dork fanboys. They're not journalists. None of them have journalism degrees. So how can they be journalists? So these dork MMA media nerds, I just want to hold them accountable and ask John the tough questions that they won't ask him because they're afraid that some fighter is going to hurt their feelings.
I think we may have to see this press conference. Now, John Anik, I know you said your kids, you don't want your kids to grow up without a dad. That was come on. Like, that was a joke on bad? I mean, you didn't really mean that.
Yo, hey, Adam, I say this to everybody. No one's safe. This is the Nerd Bash 2023 tour. Like, no nerd or virgin is safe. If you're going to get on the tracks when the Colby train and the MAGA train's coming through, you will get ran over. You realize that, right, Adam?
What did he do? What did John say that was so bad?
Oh, he just said I wasn't deserving of a title shot, discrediting me, talking about my resume. Like, bro, first off, Adam, he's a UFC commentator. He's supposed to be impartial. If he wants to be a cheerleader and root for someone to get a title shot over another, dude, set down the headset, pick up the pom-poms, and you can be a cheerleader for the UFC fighters. But if you're going to be a commentator, then you're supposed to be unbiased and impartial. So, he got called out for his bullshit.
Got it. Now, do you ever think that, like, because I had you on the show, we were friends back when, like, I don't know, you were like ranked like 15 or 16. You did your first UFC fight. And I was like, this guy's going to be champ one day. I just knew it. I knew it. And then you were so nice and polite. And then you were like, fuck it. I'm going, I don't know. You're like, you just, whatever. But it's crazy that like I tell people, I talked to Ben Askren about you, and he said he was coaching one of his kids, and you tried to fight him after your wrestling match. In a college wrestling match, you were beating his kid from Arizona State, and you go, you don't want none of this, to Askren, who at the time was an Olympian, and you were an all-American wrestler. But so I guess maybe you just got more comfortable with your own self, and this is. But did you ever think that you'd be going and hanging out in Mar-a-Lago and with Donald Trump and hanging out with Little Pump at the Tiger King's house and all this other stuff?
Nah, there's, not in my wildest dreams that I think that my life would come to this, that I would be this kid from Springfield, Oregon, that would be sitting in the Oval Office with the sitting president, multiple invites to the White House on election night, all these big events, hanging out with these famous stars. Lil Wayne, like Lil Wayne's my boy now, and sky is the limit, and hanging out with Little Pump. I'm actually going on a yacht with Little Pump in like 30 minutes in Miami Beach, which is ironic. But, he's going to be singing Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. So I never thought my life would come to this. But that's what happens in the product of hard work. When you work your ass off every single day and you put in the work and you make the sacrifices, good things are going to come. I never deterred. I never, got afraid in the face of adversity. I looked it in the eyes and I came back stronger every single time. So, this is just, an American that earned the American dream through hard work, blood, sweat, and tears.
Don, do you have any questions for Colby?
Yeah. How come you ghosted me on the phone, buddy, last year?
Oh, dude, my bad, Donnie. Dude, I've been so busy with the career and just like, just involved in some other shit. So I've been, kind of ghosting everybody. I had to stay out of the spotlight and I didn't know who was media and who was trying to get quotes from me. I'm letting the legal system handle, the situation that I'm going through right now. So, it's all love and respect between me and you, Don. I respect everything you did for this sport. Like you put this sport on the map. You showed what it is to be a USA fighter, and the way you fought was with pure tenacity. So, you embody what it is to be an American war fighter, and it's an honor to see you.
Well, thanks, partner. But why'd you ghost me?
hey, we'll be talking soon, Don. You can hit me up. I'm a phone call away.
Now, How's Jake Paul going to do in MMA, Colby?
Dude, Snake Paul's not going to fight MMA. He's selling wolf tickets, Adam. He's selling wolf tickets. He's not going to come fight with the real man. That little Lispy McGuire, I call him Lispy, not Lizzie McGuire, because he was a little backup actor for Disney. I call him Lispy because he's got a list. He needs to work on beating that list. He doesn't need to work on fighting. He needs to work on beating that list. So Snake Paul will never fight MMA. He's just selling wolf tickets. It'll never happen.
They got him training with Bo Nickel. He's training with Bo Nickel.
All talk, no what? Who's Bo Nichols? Like, what's a Bo Nickel? Like, I don't know what a nickel is. Like,
who's Bo Nickel? I mean, he's probably the best wrestler in MMA right now. I mean, he's
who? How many world titles has he won? What's his ranking? What high level fights has he? How many main event pay-per-views has he headlined for the UFC and made millions of dollars? Tell me. Because my name sits up there. Hey, no, one second. My name sits there, 4th highest gate in Madison Square Garden history. That's beating Rolling Stone. Sit aside, Rolling Stone. Sit aside, Hulkamania. Colby Chaos Covington's here. So what I've done in this sport is can't be emulated. Can't be close to the history I've made. So I don't know who you're talking about.
All right. Well, you know who Bo Nickel is. Now, as far as Chimaev, Chimaev, obviously, you're not a fan. He missed weight by 9 pounds, which is ridiculous. But are you impressed with his fighting skills?
Absolutely not. There's nothing to be impressed in the cum shot, dog-faced looking motherfucker that gasses out in 1 round. He comes out hard and just the only reason he's beating guys because they don't have any wrestling defense. Like when I put hips into him and I scramble with him and I'm back in his face, pressure, putting him big punch, kick, elbow, the guy would break. And he knows that. That's why he got afraid, Adam, and he ran away from my division because now he felt the pressure on him, Adam. The UFC was saying, hey, we're going to build this fight between you and Colby Chaos Covington, the man of the division, and he's going to fight the easiest fight in the division, the soy boy Nate Diaz, and we're going to build it up. You beat Nate, you get the easy fight, and then you fight Colby, and it's a spectacle. He got afraid that I was coming for him right then and there. That's why he missed weight. He missed it by 9 pounds like an unprofessional. Like, dude, come on, bro. That's a joke. And then he's saying, oh, we turn down every fight. How can I turn down a fight where a guy misses weight by 9 pounds? I've accepted every fight from the UFC that they offered me, and they know that. That's why they put me in the backup position for the world title. So
no, I was impressed. I was actually impressed that you were willing to take that fight though, because you were ranked so much higher than him, and he's such a dangerous guy. I thought it was actually a tough, like a no win for you, but
no, it was a win-win because it was another chance that USA could flex our army that we're better than Russia in everything they do. So, the fight sells, it would have sold. I would have ended his hype. Everybody's talking, oh, he's undefeated, blah, blah, blah. He hasn't fought nobody. Now he's fighting the man. He's fighting America's champion, Donald Trump's favorite fighter. So, of course, he got afraid. The pressure was too much for him, Adam. So that's why he's running away from my division, that dog-faced looking motherfucker.
He fought Kevin Holland and killed Kevin Holland. And he fought Gilbert. You know who Kevin Holland is. And he fought Gilbert Burns.
I never heard of him. Who is that?
You ever heard of Gilbert Burns?
UFC?
Yeah, Gilbert Burns.
Oh yeah. How do you do with Gilbert? Gilbert's a nice guy, family guy. I like that guy. He's not Colby Covington, but he's a bit nice guy. How do you do with Gilbert?
I thought it was 5 rounds. Gilbert would have won. To be honest, if it was a 5-round fight, I would have had Gilbert. I thought he barely beat Gilbert Burns. So.
And that guy's not at the top of the mountain. That's a guy that was getting melted and dropped by jabs and finished by jabs. So, that guy's not at the top of the mountain. Imagine what he gets when he comes to the top of the mountain.
Now, Bilal Muhammad, who's a friend of mine, happens to be a great guy. Great guy.
You're great. Bilal Muhammad. Wait a minute. I gotta check you real quick. Adam, this is too funny. A great guy is a guy that's a racist? Like, because you're talking about Bill Lyle.
He's not a racist.
He's not racist. So him tweeting to me that saying the only reason Colby's getting a title shot, he tweeted because he's white. That's not racism?
He said and deleted that tweet. And sometimes people
now he deleted it.
Sometimes people just because somebody says something that like may look like it's racist. I know personally the guy's not racist. Sometimes people say you said some crazy shit that people can be like, this is racist. Come on.
You think if some comedy guy came on the set and you tweeted because he's black, that you would still have a job, Adam?
No, I would not have a job. I would not have a job.
Then how is that not clear racism? Because that's exactly what he did.
like I said, I'm not defending.
Would you not be canceled? Would you not be canceled?
He should not. You think he should be canceled? Come on. You don't think Bilal should
Dude, that's career suicide in this day and age, dude.
You're the last guy.
There's a line you don't cross. You don't cross religion. You don't cross race.
You said that if a guy got hit by a train a week before, and you said, when the train's coming, get off the tracks. Matt Hughes. I mean, and specifically said Matt Hughes, who got hit by a train. Like, that's
fact. I said truth. I said honesty, Adam.
And then took a picture with him afterward. That was the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, people say some dumb shit.
I took Matt Hughes to the White House, boys. I took Matt Hughes to the White House. He owes me a lot of fucking credit. Hey, let's not get off Bill Lyle, though. You're talking about the racist Bill Lyle, Adam. Racism. That's clear racism. In this day and age, you cannot say someone's deserving as someone by the color of their skin. It's not about the color of my skin. It's my fucking body of work. Look at what I've fucking done. I've been at the top of the division forever.
He should not have said that.
I'm the fucking king of Miami. Who else got a king of Miami belt, man?
He should not have said that.
I'm doing.
Where'd you get that belt from?
From the people in Miami. They gave it to me, you know. I went out in Miami Beach, and the people in Miami, they gave me my belt. So
it was nice of him. I heard that. I heard the only reason Colby went to meet Donald Trump was because the house was white that he was going to. That's what Bilal
was not racist. What he said was stupid, and I don't support what he said. But he should not be canceled for it. I don't support cancel culture. What? I don't support Bilal getting canceled for it. And he happens to be a great guy, a great fighter. And I'm telling you, Colby, if you knew Bilal, he was a training partner, you would love the guy.
Dude, I don't care though. No, I'll never love a guy that says that they earn someone off the basis of the color of their skin. If I said that, Adam, my career would be over. Do you know what they would do to me? They would hang me in the streets. They would try and lynch me. Like my career.
No one would hang you.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Who's hanging you in the
street? Come after me, bro.
You're on a
yacht. Take away the King of Miami belt from him, Adam, if he did that.
Yeah, they can't take that away, man. This is with me, man, forever.
Colby, just like I think you happen to be a great guy. Everyone that I know who has met you says you're a great guy. Not including maybe Dustin Poirier or some other people, but you know,
yeah, not including the cuck.
People. Why is he a cuck?
Because he likes to watch Conor in bed with his wife.
No, he does not.
Yeah, he does, man. Connor's wife was in Dustin's wife was in Connor's DM. So.
Oh, come on. Like, that's not, we don't even know if it's
true. Dude, hey, don't kill the messenger. It's true. It's facts, man. That's why people love me, because I'm honest. I'm brutally honest, but I'm honest and I'm truthful.
Do you think that Conor is going to pass a steroid test?
To be honest, yeah, I think he will. I think that, people are speculating that he did steroids, but I don't think he did steroids. I think he's had a career reinvention and he's hungry again. He's motivated. He wants to prove everybody wrong. That's not a guy you can count out. You saw what he's done in prior, knocking out people in 10 seconds in championship level fights. So, Conor will be back stronger than ever. And it's going to set up the biggest fight in UFC history. Conor McGregor versus Colby Chaos Covington.
Wow, that would be the best fight. Now, you think
Can you imagine? That would be.
No, Sean, as a guy who knows a lot about steroids, do you think Conor's on steroids?
I think there's a lot of guys that are on. I actually told you, I was told by somebody who would know that the UFC can sweep certain things under the rug if it saves the main event, on things. So he doesn't look. He doesn't look as big to me as everybody's saying he is. They're all like, "Oh, he's roided out. He's this or that." But he doesn't. I don't know. It depends on what you're talking about. When you're talking about steroids, I don't think he's taking Tren or anything. Right. But there's probably some HGH mixed in there and, some other recovery stuff. So
now, do you think he knocks out Chandler, Colby?
Yes, I do think he sparks Chandler. I think he comes back and just, sweeps the floor with Chandler and sets himself up for a welterweight title shot with the man, King of Miami, Donald Trump's favorite fighter, Colby Chaos Covington, the biggest draw in the welterweight division. Make no mistakes about it. They put my face on the weighing scale. SportsCenter is using my image. Millions, tens of millions of views for Colby Chaos Covington. Daddy's home. The man is home. And he's getting ready to come this summer. I'm coming. Just wait till you guys see it, this performance. You guys are going to be blown away.
I can't.
With what I do to Leon Edwards Scissorhands.
Now, who pushes you in practice? Like, who are the guys that, are you the best guy at the gym? Or do you have guys that,
I'm the best guy in the entire planet, Adam. There's not a man alive that walks below 170 pounds that can beat me in a fist fight. That's just facts. That's evidence. That's truth. That's the work and dedication I put in my craft my whole entire life. Starting wrestling, karate as well, and getting on this MMA journey with Chael Sonnen, coming out of high school and just him showing me the way and opening the doors at, in his gym and showing me what it takes to be a fighter and be a champion nonetheless. So, we're just getting started. The best is yet to come. They haven't seen nothing from me yet.
A final question. Henry Cejudo versus Aljamain. Who do you like in that one?
Yeah, that's a tough fight. We got to see how Henry looks coming back from retirement, if he was really serious about retirement or if he was just training the whole time, plotting on making his comeback. So we'll see if it's a cash grab or if he's really serious about being back and being a UFC champion again.
And then Pereira, Izzy.
Yeah, I think Pereira's just got the edge over him mentally. He's 3-0 against him now. I think Izzy's kind of cashed out, and I don't think Izzy's the same Izzy of the past. I think he's made his money and he's just not hungry anymore. So he's just showing up for a big paycheck.
Cool. Don, any final questions for the great Colby Covington?
Yeah, what makes you think you're Donald Trump's favorite fighter? Because he tells me I am.
Donnie boy. Yeah. I don't know about that, brother. I don't think I'm Donald Trump's favorite fighter. I know I'm Donald Trump's favorite fighter. The kid from Oregon, the opportunities that the president's afforded me, continuous, visits and support and calls. And, he's done a lot for my career. And he's got me to where I am today and given me the passion and the fire to keep pushing on and keep fighting the woke mafia and everybody. So, I'm sure he likes you a lot too. He likes anybody that's a freedom fighter and fights, for our freedoms here in America. And you've done that, Don Fry. So God bless you, my brother.
McCorkle, any final statements?
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
I'm just, I don't know. I wonder if Colby ever, does it ever just amaze you when you stop and think like they said one fight away from being released by the UFC, then you switch the script up because you were just as good a fighter then as you were, right after you flipped it up. But do you ever realize like you hang out with the president now? Does it blow your mind where you went from where you were just a few years ago when they're, they don't even want you on the roster. Now you're the biggest draw, like you really are. So I don't know. It's got to blow your mind at night when you think about it sometimes.
Yeah, it really does, Sean. It's humbling beyond words. Like you dream as a fighter to get to this position where you get to make these type of paychecks and brush shoulders with these type of people and have the connections that I have. And just like I have the key to the world now. I'm able to really do anything, see anybody, meet anybody, and be a part of some special stuff. So it's a beautiful position to be in. Now I just want to make sure that I use my platform for the right reasons. To give back. And donate, some of my time and energy to, people that I'm inspired by, first responders, military, the Trumps, fighting for, our freedoms here in America. This is the greatest country in the world because, all the constitutional rights that we have and we're not in a tyrannical government. So, I just want to fight with the Trumps, the troops, first responders, and just be a positive light in America.
We're pretty close to one. Now, those girls in your videos, where do you find those? Where do you find those girls in your betting and your bet online videos? Like,
yeah, it's mybookie.ag. I don't know.
MyBookie.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Mybookie.ag. Use promo code Colby because of course you're going to get a 50% deposit bonus on your first deposit. So you're going to give yourself, you put $100 in, you get $200. So more money to gamble. There's only one sure bet that these days, and that's Colby Chaos Covington against Leon Edwards Scissorhands. So make sure you get your bets on Colby over at mybookie.ag. But the way I find these girls, Adam, dude, I'm the king of Miami for a reason. These mamacitas, look at me. Not only am I the highest ranked contender in this division, the biggest draw in this division, make the most money in this division. Look at these locks. Look at these looks, bro. I'm the best looking fighter of all time in this division. So, there's a reason these women in Miami love Colby Chaos Covington, and they're willing to come see daddy for a day.
Now, afterwards, I know before you were sleeping with having lots of orgies. Do any of them ever want to trap you and like say, hey, listen, I want to be you're my Colby?
Of course, because they know I'm bringing in the millions, so they know that if I get any of them locked up, they know that's going to be alimony and child support payment that's going to set them up for life. It's a business plan to some of these girls in Miami, Adam. So, I'm very smart and I'm very a good judge of character with these women. Like, if I think they're trying to trap me, I don't play those games. I move on.
Good. Make sure you wear a condom and, don't, you don't need little girl, little kids running around. Listen, Colby, thank you. Hope I have a great weekend. Thank you for coming on the show. So proud of you, man. So happy for you. Get that belt, man. So
I appreciate you having me on the show. I came back because you were one of the first person that ever gave me a platform in my career. My first or second fight in UFC, you said, Colby, come on my show. None of the media wanted me on the show because I was nothing to them, but I was something to you. So I appreciate you, Adam. It was great to come on your show. It was great to see the legend Don Fry, the legend Sean McCorkle, and Adam Hunter. So God bless you guys. God bless America, and have a great week.
Take care, Colby. You're the best.
See you, buddy.
Take care, boys.
All right. That was Colby Covington.
Colby's awesome, man. He really is. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I like
it cracks me up. I didn't want to put the heat on him, but I was going to say, like, I was going to ask him, does it ever surprise him that so many people still believe that's really him? Like, when he says stuff to obviously inflame them, you know what I mean? That they're still like, do you believe he doesn't know who John Jones is? Like, or they really believe they really believe some of the stuff he says that he believes it, it cracks me up, man.
It's just so funny. No matter who's on, Don Fry will have his dog in a wrestling match with him. Like, I swear to God, we could have like the Pope on. We doesn't matter who we have. We could have somebody could just like cure cancer, and they announce it on our show. And like, so you just cured, and they hear, like, I have to actually mute him because he's like, Colby, why don't you call me back? And then all of a sudden you hear grrr, like a fucking wrestler. Don Fry does not get.
I want to know if it's Don or the dog growling. That's what I couldn't figure out when I was listening to it. It really was. I was like, which one of them two is making that noise?
Well, anyway, thank you guys. Hope you guys have a great week, and you guys are the best.
See you, man.
Take care.